an alternating series is just a series that every other term is positive, every other term is negative. So it alternates between positive and negative. And so what we've been looking at so far, most of the tests we've done have dealt with absolute series. So if every term is positive, we can figure out using those tests if it's going to converge or diverge. The alternating series test allows more series to converge because we're adding positive and negative terms together. And they kind of offset each other to some extent. So the alternating series test has a few parts. It looks a little bit complicated, but it's actually somewhat straightforward. So the series that looks like this, so if we assume that u sub n is always positive, then it's going to be u sub 1 minus u sub 2 plus u sub 3. So they're alternating back and forth between pluses and minuses. This first condition here just says that it alternates. So it's going back and forth between positive and negative. And the reason it says that each u sub n is positive is because the way that I wrote the sum here, we have this negative 1 to the n plus first power. That means that it's going between positive and negative. The other thing, these are the two important things here. Well, they're all important for this to work, but this means it's an alternating series. This means that the terms are decreasing. So each term is greater than the term after it, greater than or equal to. So each term is going to be no bigger than the term before that. And notice here that it says for all n greater than some big N. It says that because we could have an alternating series, or this could be true starting at some point and going off beyond that point. It really doesn't matter what happens for the first finite number of terms, as long as we get to a point where after that point the terms are decreasing. We say that they're decreasing in absolute value. All right, so these u sub n's are positive, so each term, each consecutive term is going to be no bigger than the term before it, so they're decreasing in absolute value. And then the last thing, and this is also really important, the absolute values of each of the terms have to approach 0. If they're not approaching 0, if you guys remember the limit test for divergence, if they don't approach 0, then it doesn't converge. And that's no different here for the alternating series test. So if all of these are true, they decrease in absolute value to 0, then this is going to converge. And that's all the alternating series test says.